I'm going to ask our next guest all about that, because we are about to talk to England's most prolific national football manager, having managed 5 countries' teams over the last 20 years. During that time, he's been awarded a medal from the King of Nepal, hugged a pitch-invading prince in Kathmandu, and has taken the Indian team to the top 100 in the world. Now, despite developing the beautiful game abroad, Constantine remains relatively unknown here in the UK. However, he has now written a book about his career. Morning to you.
Good morning.
You're standing still long enough to kind of talk to us, which is great. You're not on a plane, on a train?
I was yesterday.
Oh, you were? OK.
It must be strange to hear Jose Mourinho talking like that to you, and about the hundreds of millions of pounds being spent here on players for the Premier League. And in your career, you have managed players in very different circumstances, haven't you? Yeah,
well, we don't, with the national teams at least, obviously, we're not buying and selling players. We're trying to get players from the local country to play. So it's tough. It's very difficult. These budgets are on another planet for us, so it doesn't affect us.
Where do you live right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm based in Delhi. I have an apartment on the 22nd floor. The last time I was there was in early May. And I live in hotels, basically.
So talk us through a little bit about India, for example. So you coach the national team there now. Is the rest of the world lucky, really, that India hasn't got the football bug yet? Because such a huge population, presumably, if the nation embraced the sport, they would have an amazing team. Is it simple as that?
No, it's they have got the bug. They've got it big time.
Really? But the players are not yet of the sort of international standard?
The last 3 or 4 years with the Indian Super League and the results from the senior national team have really caught hold of the nation. There's hundreds and thousands of kids. Well, we have more kids playing football than we can count. And it's just a matter of time before this development process starts kicking in and India starts producing players for the senior team and for out Europe.
And tell us about your sort of love affair with football, because right from a small child, you loved this sport, didn't you?
Well, is there any other sport? I mean,
well, there are. But
well, one or two. But look, I think when you're born in England, you grow up, you want to play for England, you want to play for your local club, and it's just there. I've had to go out and coach in other countries because I don't want to do anything else. I've never wanted to do anything else, and for as long as I live, I won't want to do anything else. So,
how do you coach in different countries? You know, when you move to a new country, do you have to change your style in any way? Do you find that the players in each country have different strengths and weaknesses?
That's a really good question. I think the problem that a lot of coaches make when they go to different countries is that they come from a certain country, they think, well, we're going to coach them how we coach them back in England or in Germany or in Italy. But we as the coaches are the ones who have to change, and we have to find the good, positive things that they have in that country, add what your experience and your knowledge, and take it like that. My wife calls me a chameleon because I would change the colour of my skin if I had to, and I would.
Can I just ask, looking at, if you like, as an outsider, looking at the English international team, our national side, I mean, why have we got such good clubs and such a rubbish international team? I say that, no, you know what, I chuck these things out, but I don't mean rubbish, but you know what I mean? Our success rate in international competition is not good, but...
You mean we haven't won a World Cup or Euro?
Yeah.
In God knows how long.
It's a problem, isn't it?
Well, it is. Look, I think one of the problems is that everyone likes to beat England. We have this arrogance about us that when you go abroad, you feel that. And they love to beat us. We are not as good as we think we are. Although the last few years, the under-17s have done really well, the under-19s, the under-20s won the World Cup. And that's a sign of things changing. And in England, we're starting to take the youth set up a lot more seriously than we have been in the past. In other countries, it's normal for them to focus so much on the youth. We don't do that as much, but we are now.
Would you turn it down? Would you turn it down as a job?
Turn what down?
England coach.
I'd take it in a second. Why not? I've managed everywhere else except in my own country.
If anyone's listening, that answer there just tells you pretty much everything you need to know.
About what? About the problem?
Well, about the historic problem of the youth sides. Now we're looking at it. Now they are working on developing youth football. St George's Park, we're starting to see the effects of that. But other countries elsewhere in mainland Europe have been doing that for years.
Not only in Europe. I mean, the under-17 World Cup's in India this year, and the England team will be coming. And it's great to see that they're qualifying for these tournaments. So the future's bright, I think.
It's really interesting hearing a
Stephen
slightly
Constantine,
different
thank you.
perspective.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The book is called, that he's written actually, is called From Delhi to the Den, the story of football's most travelled coach.